Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky15, where I'll be giving you my predictions for tomorrow's horse racing action in our daily format of a Lucky 15 bet. If you're brand new to the channel, what I do is I make predictions every day. Sometimes we have good days, sometimes we have bad days, probably more bad days than good days to be fair. And we make a Lucky 15 bet, and what I think will run well. They don't always run well, but I'm just going to go through now on how today's selections ran, and today it was a very, very poor performance. Only one runner worthy of note, and that was Lightning Dance, our last selection at Windsor in the 750, which ran not too badly, finished on well, seems to finish well, that horse, and it came second in that race at 9-2 we got it at an earlier price. I think it went off a little bit shorter than that in the end. And that was the only one we selected that ran okay. We also had the other runners were at Savile tonight over the jumps. We had the last bridge looking okay to start with, going for the first half of the race, but early on after that it was getting some reminders from Richard Johnson, and it just started to drift back through the field, and that was quite a disappointing performance there. Then we had Storm Bay Chaser, which was in the 710. It wasn't a great performance again. Was there for a little while, but faded and withered away and finished well back in the end. And then in the 740, again, it didn't really come for us there either. It was quite disappointing run with Corby, the Skelton horse. Absolutely, it was a weak race on paper, and you thought that he showed not too bad level of form. He had a previous second at Fakenham beforehand, and all the other horses had shown absolutely nothing in its previous runs. And that was a disappointing selection there. So it looks like the Skeltons are either going to have to get rid of that horse or just find an even more worse and weaker race for this horse. I think tactically, I think one of the horses went off quite early on and had a massive lead, and I think sometimes in those kind of races, when they've got a favourite that they know that's had a few chances and hasn't got quite over the lines, quite short, they often go out and test it anyway, because if it hasn't found the knack early on in its career, it's always going to be hard, especially in a maiden, to actually win those kind of races. They're probably won later on for handicaps, possibly, those kind of horses. So all in all, it was a disappointing day today. I've had a look at tomorrow's horse racing action, and not a lot really caught my eye, if I'm honest. Still quite a lot of poor racing for tomorrow. I managed to scrape something together, and hopefully we can have some good runs from these selections. It's each way as normal on our Lucky 15 at the moment. We do alright on the each way angle. And our first selection tomorrow takes us to Beverley in Yorkshire for the 2:30 there. And the horse that we selected here was a horse called Make On Madden, who is trained by Lee Eyre, and PJ McDonald takes a ride. Currently 7-1 bookmakers at the moment, and it's quite a course specialist, this horse. It tends to run reasonably well here. Last time out it ran over a mile, and it's been dropped down to 7 furlongs tomorrow, which seems like a positive move for this horse. It's a previous course and distance winner, and every time it's run on the flat and had a win, it's always come at Beverley, so that's quite a good fact there. Also as well, it's been running fairly consistent this year. It's been in the places a few times at Beverley as well this year, especially over the course and distance. So all in all, I don't think that's not a bad level of form. It's a little bit competitive tomorrow, a few good horses that could give them a run for its money here, but I definitely think this horse likes it here. It's not a too bad draw from stall 5, so not the worst draw there, and it could be in the business end of this race tomorrow, and I thought at a price at 7-1, I definitely thought that was an interesting punt there. So Make On Madam is our first selection tomorrow. We then go on to Brighton in the 3:45 on the flat there, and the horse that we selected here is a horse called Secret Strategy. Now this one is making its handicap debut tomorrow. It was disappointing out last time at Windsor, where it finished 8th of 9th over a classified stakes, but prior to that it had been running not too badly. It had 2 runs here at Brighton where it won its only previous race. There's one. at Brighton, which was a course and distance maiden. That was a nice performance there, and previous to that it actually had finished second at Brighton. So yeah, this horse seems to like this track, and also when it finished second that time it finished behind a Roger Varian horse called Jamara Bridge, who's gone on to run some not bad races there and been in some not bad company. So that form looked encouraging there, where I only finished 2.5 lengths behind that day. Off a fair opening mark, I definitely thought this chance had a good run in it tomorrow, and are currently 7-1 with bookmakers, trained by Julia Feldon. Adam Beschitzer takes a ride. I thought that wasn't bad value for the race. So that's our second selection there tomorrow. Our third selection then sees us go to the evening jumps meeting at Newton Abbot in the 6:30, and the horse that we've gone for here is a horse called the Mythologist, who's currently 5-1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Tim Vaughan, and George Blackwell takes the ride. Well, he'll be able to use his £7 jockey claim here. He has not a bad relationship with this horse, winning at Wincanton a couple of runs back. But following that performance at Fosslas last time, this horse tailed off quite badly. But to me, this horse does seem a stayer, and that run last time out at Fosslas was over about 5 or 6 furlongs shorter than what it's running tomorrow, which is over 3 miles. It's a course and distance not too bad record for this horse at Newton Abbot, but this horse is a definite stayer, and some of the other horses running tomorrow are a bit unknown quantities over this trip, and I definitely thought the Mythologist at 5-1 tomorrow, being a known stayer, you've got to be a known stayer really, I feel, if you're competing in 3-mile races, because if you're kind of like making your debut as it were over 3 miles like a few of these horses are, and you haven't won over this distance, you might get found out. And I thought the Mythologist was definitely not a bad punt at 5-1, especially with all his connections and his not bad relationship with George Blackwell. So that's why I decided to go for that horse. Our last selection tomorrow takes us to Leicester for the 8:45 with a horse called Shining Romeo. It's trained by Dennis Quinn, and it's got Sylvester de Souza on board, who's in the lead on the flat for the Jockeys Championship at the moment. This horse has been having a hurdling campaign of late, where it's ran some credible races over hurdles. It's a previous course winner at Leicester, when the only time it's ever run on the flat, and it won. It's had 5 starts on the flat, so the owner's thinking maybe they can give it something a little bit different tomorrow. And with Sylvester de Souza on board riding very well at the moment, he kind of gives it his all. It's 9-2 bookmakers at the moment, and it's not got some bad form over the flat. A respectable mark of 60. I definitely thought this could be a player tomorrow and not a bad price. So that's our last selection for tomorrow. Anyway, if you've had a good day today out there in the horse racing, let us know in the comments box below. Also subscribe to us. Thank you for all our recent subscribers. We had a good week over Ascot, attracting a lot of new business, so thank you for subscribing there. Please continue to like our videos and watch them, and subscribe to the channel. Just to let you know as well, you can follow us on Twitter, because on Wednesday we are going to Salisbury, where I'll be giving you my predictions for each race live from the parade ring, so look out for that there. Also as well, you can follow us on Twitter, like I just said, at Lucky15, same on Facebook as well. Gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.